Before we start the program, both of our session chair is already in a room, so I will proceed to the next agenda of our session, which is inform all the audience about the general rules during the conference. First is to ensure your computer sound or volume control is at the appropriate level. Use headset or earbuds to reduce external noises. Identify your Zoom account. Identify your Zoom account with your actual name so that our session chair can spot our presenters easily. Stay seated and stay present. Do dress appropriately. Be aware of your surroundings and do not interrupt other speakers. Do not make distracting noise or sound or movement. Fill the attendance and feedback form as can be seen later on the chat box. And finally, respect. The key to a successful virtual meeting is to remember that you are in a meeting. So give your full attention to other participants as you would if you were in the same room. Without further ado, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rio Madani Sitompul. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rio Madani Sitompul. On behalf of the organizing committee, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone here this afternoon through this virtual platform. Welcome to the International Conference on Industrial and System Engineering Technology Innovation and Management, ICISETIM online presentation session, Breakout Room 1 for the session 2. His Excellency, our session chair from Technological University of the Philippines, Professor Zachariah John Abelmonte. Welcome, Professor.
Welcome. Good day, everyone.
Okay, it is a pleasure to have you here today in this session. Looking forward to work with you. And His Excellency, our session chair from Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Engineer Christopher Semira. Welcome, Doctor.
Good afternoon, Sir Rio. Good afternoon to everyone.
Okay,
welcome to ICISETIM.
Looking forward to work with you, Doctor, again. Okay. Excellency, distinguished guests, delegates, and all participants of the International Conference on Industrial and System Engineering Technology Innovation and Management, ICISETIM. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us today. Welcome to the International Conference on Industrial and System Engineering Technology Innovation and Management, ICISETIM, which is hosted by Maranatha Christian University and Research Synergy Foundations, co-organized by De La Salle University, Petra Christian University, and Chung Yuan Christian University, CYCU, also supported by Scholar Vein, Research Synergy Institute, Reviewer Trach, RSF Press, F1000 Research, and Taylor and Francis Group. This conference aims and theme is to explore integrated system engineering, technology, innovation, and management. Regarding the virtual background conference program and abstract book can be accessed through the links that will be distributed through via chat books later if anyone hasn't received. And as for the proceeding paper, will be available at the website researchenergypress.com at the day +10. Regarding the Q&A sessions and a certificate, Q&A can only be asked via Zoom chat box, and our session chair will manage the time as per available. The certificate will be provided to any participant who completely and active involved in this discussion. As for the video and audio, the host has every right to mute any participants and remove any participants who deem disruptive without warning. Okay, without further ado, in Breakout Room 1, we will have 3 different tracks from track Ergonomics, track Operation Research, and track Technology and Innovation Management. So there is a slight difference between perhaps between this conference program and the conference program that already obtained by our session chair, but don't be aware. Okay, this is our presenters today. And in these sessions, we will have Professor Zachariah and Engineer Christopher Mira for our session chair today. But before I hand the floor to them, I would like to read their profile. Okay, our first session chair is a graduate of Non-Destructive Testing Engineering Technology and Bachelor of Engineering in Manufacturing at Technological University of the Philippines, and he is also graduate of a Master of Science in Engineering Management at Mapua University, Manila. and currently pursuing his PhD in Industrial Engineering in Mapua University. His academic and research interests mostly focus on quality management system, management science, and industrial engineering. He is a full-time faculty at the Technological University of the Philippines, currently a member of TUP Highest Governing Board and co-chairman of the TUP Research and Extensions Policy Committee. He presented and published research in international conference, scientific journals like 7 International Conference on Industrial and Business Engineering in China, the Kuala Lumpur International Multidisciplinary Conference on Social Science in Malaysia, 62nd International Scientific Conference on Information Technology and Management Science in Latvia, the 36th World Conference on Applied Science and Engineering and Technology in Thailand, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be the first one to introduce you to our first session chair for this session, Professor Zachariah John A. Belmonte from Technological University of the Philippines. Next, we have Engineer Christopher Semira from Polytechnic University of the Philippines. He is a graduate of Bachelor Science in Industrial Engineering and has been a Master in Industrial Engineering and Management. He has been with the university as a full-time assistant professor since November 2006, initially handling a major industrial engineering subjects. Later in 2017, he has been given subjects in quality management for BS Accountancy and BS Business Administration major in Human Resources Management. His involvement in research has been commended during his being a member of the University Research Group for Engineering, Architecture Technology College. He has been presented various research papers in the local and international settings, likewise invited as panelist and session chair in various research presentations. He is also regularly invited by some business establishment reference to their quality and performance evaluations. He is presently the advisor of Philippine Institute of in Engineers, PIIE, PUP Binan Chapter, and former advisor of the Manila Innovators and Development Society or MINDS. Engineer Mira is a member of several groups involving research peer evaluation scholarly research. Welcome to our session chair from Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Engineer Christopher C. Mira. Okay. Welcome, Professor Zachariah. Welcome, Dr. Mira.
Welcome, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Rio. Thank you, Rio.
Okay. Right now, I would like to thank you for the support for this event, Doctor, Professor. So I would like to hand this virtual floor for you, so we can proceed to the presentation session. Okay.
Thank you, Rio. Thank you, Rio.
Okay, good afternoon. Incessantly, these are the following guidelines for today's presentation. The presentation is limited only to 10 minutes, and 5 minutes of which are the question and answer, after which the presentation has been made. And the Q&A will be facilitated by the session chair. The audience and the co-presenters can ask questions using the chat feature, which will be read by the moderator later. Recording of presentation is allowed. It is to make sure that you are in place, free of noise, and avoid disruption during the presentation. And lastly, help the presenter give the presentation that they deserve by not asking, eating, drinking, or engaging in any activities that are uncalled for during the presentation. Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon to the presenters and the audience. Good afternoon, co-chair Zach Belmonte.
Good afternoon, Professor.
This afternoon, as earlier presented, we have 3 tracks from the Ergonomics, the Operations Research, and Product Innovation. At this particular time, we will be presenting first from Professor Chengyi Lo, of which the research is entitled RULA and REBA Risk Assessment System, which is a case study on Filipino salt workers. Good afternoon, Dr. Chengyi Lo. Are you in the house?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. I suppose we can start now from your end, and good luck.
Okay, thank you. Everybody can show my PPT. Can see my PPT.
Yes.
It's visible,
Yes, can.
Doc.
Should I begin? Okay, good day, everybody, distinguished panel and my co-presenters. I'm Chengyi Lo, and today I will present our research entitled Rapid Aberlin Assessment and the Rapid and Antibody Assessment, a postural risk assessment case study on Filipino salt workers, co-authored by Clean, Aaron Marinas, Professor Yongchan Zhou, and Chairman Shena Sefro. We are from CYCU in Taiwan. The layout of my presentation starting with the introduction, methodology, result, discussion, and conclusion. I will start in the introduction where I will be explaining the title, and I hope that I will be leading you toward the reason of this presentation and the method that I will be using this experiment. Musculoskeletal disorders is one of the most common occupational disorder caused by improper posture due to working conditions. Musculoskeletal disorder, we call it MSDS, develop due to physical work exertion and incorrect movement and repetitive movement in a short or long time, which is commonly seen in manual operation. Traditional farming is one of agricultural sectors that poses a higher ergonomic risk since it's usually done through manual operation. Occidental Mindoro, located in the southern part of the Luren Island in the Philippines, is known as one of the leading producers of salt, having a 12% of the country's salt requirement, equivalent to 17,000 metric tons. Salt farming is known for its labor-intensive job that requires manual operations and long hours of working that impose a higher occupational safety and health risk. Salt workers lack social and health security, even if exposed to hazardous work environment factors and work in extreme climatic conditions. However, a limited study assessed the risk relative to salt workers. The purpose of the study, we have 3 points. Number one, to investigate the ergonomics of salt farming, particularly on the activities that bring the most pain and strain to the salt farmer's body, since salt farming is a labor-intensive industry. Number two, to identify the different work activities that may pose a risk in the job of salt farmers from through the participant demographic information and the total pain score. Number three, to provide comprehensive information in mitigating the occupational and health risk of sow farmer in the Philippines. Methodology. Research design, the current research utilize descriptive study that gather data from the sow farmers on the occupational risk they are exposed to, using the nautical questionnaire as the main research instrument. Study site, the research was conducted in 5 sow farms in the municipality of San Jose and Mexico, both salt top producing municipality in Occidental Mindoro. The participants were selected using simple random sampling based on master list of works provided by the sow farm during the field visit of the researcher to avoid the bias. A total of 24 sow farmers were interviewed and observed. They were directly involved in sow production from tending to the southern, including the supplier concentration and crystallizing pond, harvesting and hauling salt from the south bend to the drying area, and working on the sow farm for at least 6 months. Procedure, we have 5 procedure. Initial observation and survey were made on the sow farms, included in the study. Initial interviews were also done with the target respondent. A self-made questionnaire and a standard nautical body map questionnaire were next administered to the sow farmers during the subsequent visit. Demographics were collected, and the pen score of each work activity. Data are gathered in February and March 2020, which are the peak months of sow production in the province of Occidental Mindoro. The nautical questionnaire detects neck, back, shoulders, and extremities symptoms. It's composed of 28 multiple choice questions and structured into 2 well differentiated parts. The first part refers to symptoms in 9 parts of the body, including a neck, shoulders, elbows, wrist, hand, upper back, low back, hip, thigh, knee, and ankle. During the last 12 months, the second part refers to the symptom in 3 body parts: neck, shoulder, and low back, throughout the subject working life 7 days beforehand. The work posture of sow workers were photographed while doing the activity, and were subject to body segmentation measurements. The segmentation measurements were analyzed using the rapid upper limb assessment and the rapid and antibody assessment to obtain the risk of musculoskeletal disease in the salt collection and transporting. Spearman's correlation was used to test the relationship of important variable in a study. Result: an evaluation of a respondent score in the Nordic questionnaire revealed that transporting the salt from the salt band contributed the most pain, 35%, followed by harvesting the salt from the crystallizing pond by putting the salt in a basket, 34%, and feeding the southern with 31%. Figure 1 can show the summary of the pain score per work activity. Spearman's correlation was wrong to determine the relationship between long-term effect and the demographic variable to determine the work activity that pose the most risk to the salt farmers. Result of the analysis indicate a negative correlation between the high and the long-term effect of the pain. You can see the table 1. It's a significant that the shorter the higher of the salt farmer, the more intense the long-term effect of the pain will be. In terms of the older demographic variables, no significant relationship were found. Wisnu found a significant relationship between the height and the weight of salt workers in the long-term effect of the pain. Interestingly, he found a positive correlation between the weight of the salt worker, where the present study only find a relationship in terms of the height of the salt workers and the long-term effect of pain. A correlation analysis was made to test the relationship between the salt workers' demographic characteristic and the pain in the body parts they experienced from transporting salt. A standard Nordic questionnaire was distributed to the 24 salt farmers. A Spearman's correlation was wrong for the different body part: neck, shoulder, upper back, elbow, wrist, hands, low back, and the hip, and the knee, and the ankle, feet. Result of the analysis indicated that year in salt farmers, the salt farming has a positive correlation with upper back, age, and ears, and salt farming are positively correlated with the wrist, respectively. Low back pain positively correlated with age and ear in salt farming. You can see the table 2. This finding indicated that the longer the salt workers stay in salt farming and the older they get, the more pain in several body parts will be experienced, notably in the upper back, low back, and the wrist. Upon observing the salt farmers while working.
Good afternoon, Professor Chengyi. We still have 1 minute. We can fast track the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, speed up. I'm sorry. The body posture that need to correct transporting the salt farm, and the south band and harvest the salt from the crystallizing pan. Discussion. Transporting the salt from the salt band get a highest pan score of 35%. The result show the high is the only demographic factor that has a significant relationship with the long-term effect pan, significant p-value. Conclusion. The work activity, the post risk and curse pan to the salt work are transporting salt, collecting salt and feeding the salt tank with the brown. This research could potentially be considered the first case in the Philippines that assessment occupational and health risk of salt farmers. Also, it may serve as the first step in mitigating risk of the injuries and the occupational health related disorder in the salt farming sector. That's all. That's a reference. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon again, Professor Chengyi. Thank you very much, and congratulations for your research. Specifically, this research has been studied in the Philippines, where I live. Do you have from the audience? Do we have specific inquiries or clarification that you would like to inquire from the presenter?
I study in Philippines is because my it's collaboration with my lab mates.
Wow, that is very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions or clarification from the house? Okay. Should that be the case, I will be the first one to give some clarification. You have mentioned, Professor Chengyi, that you interviewed 24 salt farmers in the specific area of San Jose and Magsaysay in Mindoro. How many percent does it represent from the total salt farmers?
How many percent?
How many percent is 24 from all the salt farmers in that particular area?
In Taiwan or Filipino?
In the Philippines, in San Jose, in Magsaysay.
About 30%.
Oh, this is about 10%. Okay.
Yeah.
And specifically, what particular musculoskeletal disease have you encountered so that we can make some corrective measures? It is presented in your paper that they are back pains, upper back pain, upper torso, and lower back. But specifically, what kind of disease?
Sorry, I don't know what you mean.
What sickness do they have?
What sickness?
Yes.
What sickness?
It is not being presented earlier. I suppose that you have some particular data on specific, yes, specific sickness.
Oh, back pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will constitute on the lower portion of the torso?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your clarification. From the audience? Anyone? Yes?
Mr. Chairman, this is Zach Belmonte.
Yes, sir.
That's a very good presentation, Professor Lo, and then I do really appreciate that. I would like to suggest to Professor Lo if he can, he or his team can also use the CMDQ so that they can have the micro level identification of we can identify the illness or the factor that affecting the performance of the workers. So that's my suggestion, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Belmonte. Anybody else from the audience, members of the House? Okay, should that be the case, at this point in time, thank you very much, Professor Chengyi Lo. I suppose, should there be any more questions regarding this presentation, you can directly email Professor Chengyi Lo. Congratulations again and good afternoon, sir. We can move on now on the second presentation. This is going to be presented by Professor Winda Halim, and the title of the research is Coffee Shop Redesign for Low Vision Baristas and Visitors, which is a case study at the Cafe X Bandung. Good afternoon, Professor Winda. Are you in the house?
Yes. Good afternoon, Professor.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine.
How is the weather there?
Raining in here in Bandung.
Oh, it's rainy. It's cloudy here. Okay, now I suppose you are too excited to present. You may have the floor. Good afternoon.
Okay.
You may start your presentation now.
Share my PPT. Okay, you can see my PPT, Professor?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will start my presentation. Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Winda Halim. I will present research conducted by Felina and me, entitled Coffee Shop Redesign for Low Vision Barista and Visitor, case study at Cafe X Bandung. This outline of the presentation consists of 4 parts: introduction, research methodology, finding and discussion, and then lastly, conclusion. Okay, for introduction, I will introducing the site location of the research. Cafe X is one of the unique coffee shop in Bandung. As it is managed by 3 low vision barista. Moreover, its market cover not only regular customer, but also visually impaired customer, at which several issues arise. The existing place includes space and working system were not designed to cater such special condition that leads to low customer and employee satisfaction. Therefore, through this research, we address the issue by improving the current cafe working system in order to support performance, provide security and comfort to shareholders. For the research methodology, first we collected data such as general information of Cafe X, raw ingredients, tool, machinery, and equipment, and then existing physical facility at Cafe X, existing layout of Cafe X, existing physical environment, existing condition of applicant 5S culture at Cafe X, and then existing condition of occupational health and safety at Cafe X. Then those data were used along with following method to come up with better solution and recommendation. The method we use is anthropometry, motion economic principle, 5S, like point calculation, temperature calculation, fishbone analysis, 5W, and 1H method. And then after the analysis, several suggestions can be made to cater with the shareholder needed. And this suggestion will be presented in later section. Okay. First, for finding and discussion. Our findings show that most of the machinery and equipment used in the cafe might be suitable for regular user. But in this cafe, do not capture what cafe X needs, not only in terms of human factor, they were not optimally utilized up to their capacity, which is not good operational wise. The size of machine and equipment used are large size, which take up space, being less effective and efficient use. So it is suggested to replace those large size machine and equipment so it can be more optimal. In the right, there is a table on the right for this is the existing equipment, and this is what we suggest. And then for tactile sticker, we suggest to use tactile sticker that can be affixed in various places to help barista and customer to easily identify the product or equipment they need and use. And then for physical facility, we propose a working counter or a bar table designed anthropometrically, which consists of 3 parts according to their own specific operation. The first one we refer to as a bar table A. As on the top is placed various equipment, coffee machine and equipment used to support cafe operation. And for the bottom part, storage space is divided into 11 separated drawers. You can see in the picture on the left side. Okay. This is the separated drawer and for cafe operation. And then the second one referred to as bar table B. Bar table B is connecting between bar table A and C. It includes a mini showcase cooler to store milk and cold water. The bottom part consists of 3 partitions. The right part of storage will be used for ice bin, as those 2 on the left are extra space. And last, counter is bar table C. Bar table C is meant for wet area, dishwashing area, for sink, dish rack, and other cleaning equipment. Bar table C has 4 room partition or 4 room divider. You can see in the picture on the left side. Okay, and then next we also propose to move the service and public area for better flow activity of employee and customer. You can see this is the existing layout. This is the service area, and this is the public area. In the public area, and this is the suggestion layout. In the public area, guiding block are applied, this one, to show direction to customer, to mark indicating stop and move, a dot pattern for a stop, this one, I hope you can see, this one, and this one, for stop, and a line pattern for instruction to move. The proposed layout is rotated from this to this, from the existing one that result in extra space that can be used as a sanitation area for better customer service at the back. Okay, and here is shown the 3D version of the proposed layout from front view, from top view, and from isometric view. Okay. Then for physical environment, it is suggested to have the level of lighting for workers to be set as minimum of 500 lux with the help of artificial lighting. But that's for a low vision person with the help of artificial lighting. But for a normal person that use 300 lux. As for parking area or courtyards, it is between 20 until 50 lux. as recommended by Damayanti 2016 and Ministry of Health 2002. Therefore, in this case, the minimum lighting level for public area in Cafe X is 350 lux. Cafe together to serve both normal and visual impaired visitor. To provide a comfortable environment for barista and visitor, the number of lamp needed is calculated as follows. You can see this is for area, service area, public area, and sanitary area. We use different type of lamp, different number of quantity and power. And for physical environment for temperature and humidity, in the afternoon, the temperature is ranging from 26 degrees Celsius until 27 degrees Celsius with humidity around 40% until 60%, normal condition. But if the cafe has packed up to its full capacity, the air temperature may will rise and makes it feel stuffy. At night, the air temperature decreases quite significant and feels cooler but humid. To solve the problem, it is proposed to increase the number of air conditioner. We propose to unit with specification of 1 pk each. The calculation is right side. Okay, and then for air circulation. For better air circulation, sliding window can be a good solution for limited space, not to create any kind of obstruction of the passageway. With the addition of the sliding window, there will be 5 air circulation paths in total coming from window, door, plus 2 air circulation paths from the 2 air conditioning unit installed. So they can choose, they will use a window and door or close the window and door and replace it with air conditioner. They can choose the 2 options. Okay, for unwanted odor, the cleaning equipment storage area that was originally placed in the service area is moved to the janitor area. In this designated area, the mop can be washed and dried before being stored, so it doesn't cause any bad odor due to humidity. And for application of color in the cafe area, several striking color are applied, such as blue, yellow, brown, and black. This color, especially the combination of yellow and black, have a good contrast, easy to catch by the eyes, improve the vision for both baristas and customers. Okay, and for the conclusion, first, a tool in the form of a tactile sticker is proposed to provide information through the sense of touch for user to easily identify item being used. And then improve the bar table. Improvement of the bar table were made by redesigning it and separating it into separate partitions to divide the storage space according its function and intensity of use. And the improvement to the layout of the cafe were carried out by changing the position of the service and public area. We rotated it, as well as adding marker in the form of guide blocks as a tool to facilitate the activity of baristas and visually impaired customer. The improvement to the physical environment are carried out by proposing the calculation of the number of light required for employee and customer, number of air conditioner and sliding window for better temperature, ventilation, and circulation, as well as the addition of sanitation area. And for the Kaizen of 5S culture needs to be actively implemented to create a comfortable environment for both employee and customer with the use of standard operating procedure for arranging goods, cleaning schedule, applying label, tactile sticker to provide information, and installing 5S poster as an effort to let the employee be familiar with the 5S culture. To overcome the risk of work accident that may arise around the cafe area, It is recommended to always provide the first aid kit also as prevention effort, ensuring electrical installation being installed properly, removing ladder to reduce the potential for accident such as fall, providing foam fire extinguisher to deal with minor fire, and proposing several other tools are necessary to reduce the risk of accident. Okay, that's conclude our my presentation. Thank you, Professor.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Professor Winda. It's a very interesting topic. This coffee shop, I suppose it can be applied to other particular type of industry. Say, for instance, I mean, serving food industry, restaurants and so on, something like that. And you have touched several aspects in ergonomics, like the facilities planning, convenience, odors, lighting, and so on. Well, I am just wondering, why did you happen to design this particular type of restaurant for low vision only?
Because yes.
Do you think it is suggested that we'll be having a different particular type of this coffee shop for low vision employees and parishioners?
Okay, this coffee shop is located near foundation for low vision and visual impaired people, and then they have problem, and Felina, my student, get the problem, and we discussed to design for them. And the design is also can be applied to other cafe or restaurant, not only for low vision customer or visual impaired customer.
Thank you for the clarification, Professor Winda. From the house, do you have any particular? I think there is an inquiry here. In ergonomics, if ergonomics is connected to revenue view, when the temperature should be maintained between 26 to 27 degrees, and the customers will feel very comfortable and they will stay longer at the cafe. But actually, the cafe itself needs more customers to come, and maybe hope that those customers will not stay too long. What is your opinion on that particular issue? This clarification has been rendered by Professor Raden Roro. Thank you, Ms. Raden.
Okay. 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 Thank you for the question. The comfort temperature can make customers stay longer. That's true. But if we see from human factor side, a comfort temperature can make barista more productive. And for customer, if they feel comfort in the cafe, we hope they can order more food or drink maybe, and then they will come back later, or they will
stay longer.
Maybe stay longer and order some more food and drink, and they will come back later and being a loyal customer maybe. And they can give a word of mouth to their relative. This cafe is a comfort, etc.
So it's a customer advertisement.
Yes.
Is it okay now, Professor Raden? Oh, well, I suppose that will be fine. Thank you. According to her, thank you, Ms. Winda. Interesting presentation. And we still have, okay. I would like to read how can this research be most beneficial to society, especially during this particular pandemic season and world's economic recovery?
Okay.
Maybe the question is somewhat related to economy or economics.
Okay. The most beneficial to society, especially during this pandemic and world economic recovery. This design is actually this research is conducted before pandemic. So the design, as you can see, not apply some health protocol in there. But for this pandemic and for economic recovery, this cafe can help the employee and for customer to gain more revenue for the owner and for the barista. They can work in their cafe, and for the customer they can see entertain. They can go to cafe and keep they stay healthy maybe.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Well, I suppose on this particular time, the redesigning may not be fully recognized economically, but after this pandemic situation, maybe it's going to be boosted. Thank you. And for this last one, it's quite long.
I think
What do you recommend this is from Dr. Widheim Jacob. What do you recommend to be researched further by the presenter or other researchers, and why? This is also being brought by Dr. Ismail.
Okay.
What are the further studies regarding this particular research, and what could be the basis for that?
Okay, this study can be applied for another place, not just cafe or coffee shop, such as a restaurant, such as many place, such many other place that where customer can still comfort in that place. And then for I don't know, maybe for restaurant or some place.
Okay, in various places as
and
well.
Various places.
Okay,
Yeah.
and in different particular type of
Yes.
disability.
Yes.
Just like the low vision.
Low
Maybe
vision
sometime it will be the low hearing, those who cannot talk, and so on.
Yes.
So those are the possible impairment where this particular design can be improved and applied.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the questions. Good afternoon and congratulations for your research, Dr.
Okay.
Windham.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay. My copy is, I think we can move on to the next one. My copy is not in order because at this particular copy of mine, it will be starting with implementation of single minute exchange. However, it's the RULA and REBA. And the organizer, okay, this one. And this particular research, the next one or the third one is the students' perception of mental load in collaboration workshop in pandemic COVID-19 era, which is a case study of interior design and industrial engineering combined, which is to be presented by Professor Raden Christina. Good afternoon, Professor.
Good afternoon, Professor
Okay.
Cuenco. Yeah.
Yes. Good afternoon, and I suppose everybody is excited now. You may have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much I just share my screen right now. Yeah, can everybody see my screen right now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So thank you everyone, and good afternoon everyone for giving me and also my other colleagues for this opportunity to present our presentation titled Students' Perception of Mental Load in Multidisciplinary Workshop During Pandemic COVID-19 Era. And we have the case study at the Interior Design and Industrial Engineering students of Universitas Kristen Maranatha, Bandung, Indonesia. And this is our presentation structure. And our Ministry of Education and Culture, Republic of Indonesia, flipped the higher education practice to achieve the world-class education equality. And the concept known as Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka is in Indonesian, which is in English is the independent campus, freedom to learn. And this program could be categorized as breakthrough learning concept, emphasizing young generation to be able to compete globally. And I think I will have another one session to explain about the Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka later. And through the online learning implementation as one of freedom learning, indicating the importance of the collaboration among the knowledge. A part of the technology issue, the distant learning also faced some specific problem, such as boredom, unpreparedness in using learning management system, unmeasured assignment load, and sudden change characteristic on how study delivered while they need to stay at home and join every activity virtually, just like we are doing right now. And however, it is reported that the students still have high motivation in studying and able to achieve the high GPA too. And the readiness of the lecturers to become moderator of knowledge instead of passive transfer learning, indicating the distance learning method could also affect the student mental load. To our knowledge, there are no similar research that discuss about the material giving out of the meeting in a structural curriculum. This research actually argue that collaboration built between the different major had a probability of different mental load perception because of their different thinking perspective. Based on that thought, this research would try to bridge the study that had a similar topic, which is ergonomics, in two different departments. Since 2012, many professionals incorporated with approved independence association standardized its level of IQF, and the National Accreditation Agency for Higher Education formalized the expected outcome of the higher education graduates. And compared with other formal education, higher education needs to accommodate disparity on students' previous experience. Even though each student passes the university entrance examination, it is no guarantee actually that they have similar baseline education. And the higher education curriculum should be flexible to fit a wide range of students' quality. And the provision for lifelong learning should be accommodated too. And all of the performance indicator referring to the independence and supporting capacities of the higher education student to pursue their idealism and sharpening the ability to cooperate or collaborate others. And the urgencies of creating collaboration interdepartmental, even more to interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary department. Affordance to collaborate interdisciplinary arguably could overcome the difficulties by combining or coordinating skills to create better solutions. And this research used a quantitative method based on participants' perception to the specific experience about collaborative workshop in ergonomic theme. Workshop was held every 2 weeks for 3 times, and each workshop contained 2 hours lecturing and question and answer session. On its interval time between each lecture session, there was 1 individual assignment and 2 group assignments related to the given materials. Group assignment involved knowledge and skills in both of major departments' comprehensive specificity. To increase participants' interest and effort, 2 highest achievement in terms of best final design based on 4 juries and favorite design based on the highest voted in Instagram were given rewards. NASA TLX was used to measure the subjective workload perceived by students. This multidimensional rating scale was modified from the paper and pencil package version 1.0 to Google Form in order to manage the current condition. And these NASA TLX ratings were adopted in the study due to quick measurement right after the experimental condition. The usability of NASA TLX was quite broad and even reliable to implement to elderly with or without cognitive impairment. There were 6 factors measured in this measurement, which are the mental demand, physical demand, temporal demand, performance, effort, and frustration level. The process of using these instruments was begun by pairwise, measured each factor into 15 comparisons, weighted the selected factors, rate its measure factor with between 1 until 100 scale, multiply the scale with the weighted, and then divide it with 15, then sum all of the factors into total workload score. And there were 3 cutoff points for general interpretation as follows, like the above 70, between the 50 until 70, and below 50, stated the high, medium, and light mental workload use. And this instrument did not tell what to fix, but would help the researcher to understand whether the phenomena of giving the workshop to different group of people from different study program as a learning evaluation. Due to the original instruments were in English language and all of the participants were the native Indonesian, and back translated process were conducted. To get more comprehensive result, mediating variables in GPA, gender, and the number of courses were taken in current semester also gathered for data collection. And the questionnaire should be filled in 3 times right after the students submitted all of the assignments. And the average GPA of the students was in the highly satisfied category, which was 3.0, so they could take at least 21 credits for the semester. And the interior design students were taking 5 until 8 subjects, while the industrial engineering students were taking 6 to 11 subjects. And we can see on the table 1, all of the descriptive statistics here for our paper. And another fact was the students that took less subjects in that semester had taken some subjects on the short term, or they might be seniors. And the individual assignment was perceived lighter than the group assignment for both the draft and final design, which are the assignment 2 and the 3. And we can also see the table 2 for the full data. And from the result, it was shown that the collaborative workshop implementation did not perform any different perception of the 2 departments who were originally came from science and social. And I think it's weird. And the participants were equally assumed to participate because they came from the 3rd semester mandatory subject. From the beginning, the number of interior design students, not as many as industrial engineering students, but in this research, the distribution of the team members based on the department was implemented. The results showed that there was no different perception of mental load of those came from the different departments, different range of GPA, and the team who lost their members. It was also showed that individual assignment was considered to be easier than the teamwork assignment. And the insignificant differences about the mental load for the group which lost their team member is because in short of time to collaborate, they focus on the result, not on how the best solution needs to promote. And they feel that a collaboration between other students from other departments is the burden for them, not the assignment itself. And the workshop schedule that was held beyond the course schedule, which was on Saturdays, just like the weekend, just like that we are doing right now, also considered to contribute the heavy mental load. I hope we are not. And the results show that the best design came from the incomplete team members group in this case, and proving that the group could maintain the consistent performance until the end of the workshop. Through the rewards or concrete goal, the students could carry the responsibility although they felt the heavy load. And in limited face-to-face meeting for the collaborative participation in pandemic COVID-19 era, a high tolerance among the team members that had their own busy schedules needed further research whether all of the team members gave out their best for team's sake or freeloading shortcut was the preferred rule. Considering the scope was university interdepartmental, then this collaboration could not river as complex collaboration. However, for further understanding, much detail of the setup team should become consideration. For example, the unit of analysis for the research, role in its team, whether the team needed a group leader or the key skills needed. And the high score was gained by the team that lost its 3 members, and the low score was gained by the team that lost none of its members. And it should be further reviewed, actually, if there were domination origin members of the one department would show better performance because they did not need to accept the aspiration of the whole team to contribute. It could be reviewed also if fewer number of team members would give better performance. Unbalanced solidity in the team should be further reviewed as the member chose his own team was not was not be able to reach satisfied result. And I think it's weird too. Through the interdiscipline workshop, it was shown that a design did not have to produce by a designer, or a technical understanding did not have to produce by the engineers. Therefore, the students should understand that their competencies could be easily replaceable in the workplace, so that the skill to differentiate the profession quality should be understood when they study. And these are the references that we use on the paper. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Raden, Roro. Christina, good afternoon. Anybody from the house would like to share their comments? Well, actually, the presentation is good. Professor Raden, would you like to consider being a newscaster?
Sorry.
No, it's a joke. Well, actually, I feel you. Being a mentor and professor in the university, we have the same predicament and tribulations. However, this could be an insight in understanding also the mental factors being shouldered by not only the students but the mentors and professors itself. No, this could be a stepping stone. I suppose in the next conference, you will be presenting the other way around. No, the problems being experienced by the mentors during the pandemic situation.
Yeah.
So we have the same feeling now. Well, the low results of the assignment, examination, and so on. I don't think the online class setting is recommended for students. Well, from the house, do you have any comment from the past newscaster? Anyone? Okay, I suppose that's very clear and very composed presentation and very concise but complete.
Thank you.
So again, thank you very much, Professor. I would like to see you
thank
again in the next conference. Congratulations.
Yeah, okay,
Good
thank you
afternoon
very
to you.
much. Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye-bye. Maraming
Yeah,
salamat.
please don't go away.
Yeah. Okay, maraming salamat po.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you're from Indonesia?
Yeah, but I've been in Manila for 4 months only. So I learned a bit about the Tagalog.
Okay, salamat.
Thank
Okay,
you
the
po.
next presenter will be Professor Yen-Chun Huang, where his research is entitled A Case Study of Ergonomic Prevention Program in a Machine Manufacturing Industry. I'd like to inquire whether Professor Yen-Chun Huang is already in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, I see him. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Well, I suppose you're in good condition now.
Okay.
And really excited to present your research paper.
Okay.
So once again, good afternoon. Let us welcome Professor Yen-Chun Huang. Your
could everyone see my PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And today we are going to report a case study of ergonomics prevention program in machine manufacture in industry with Petra Wang, Chengyi Lo, Yen-Chun Huang, and Yuan Chen. And I'm presenter Yen-Chun Huang. I come from Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering, Christian Christian University in Taiwan. And this is our outline, and we have 6 parts in this case. And NSDS stands for musculoskeletal disorders. It's the most potential risk in human reproduction and economic systems. There are 4 factors will make NSDS risk improve, like force, awkward posture, and long hours of work, and repeatability. And it is listed as a topic of high concern in global economic institutions and labor organizations. In literature reviews, many countries have announced guidelines, even enacted relevant regulations and laws to effectively facilitate ergonomics prevention programs. OSHA recommends to through internal training and with the provision of improvement cases to help employees establish ergonomic risk awareness. NIOSH has published a 5-year plan which illustrates change in industry developments have a significantly impact on the work and labor. Health and Safety Executive in the UK and the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare in Japan were both focused on the importance of implementation. National Occupational Safety and Health Profile of Taiwan has developed ergonomic prevention guidelines for musculoskeletal disorders for workplace improvement programs. Manufacturing is an important economic industry in Taiwan. The objective of this study was to ergonomically assess the key stations in the manufacturing shop floor, and the recommendations were provided to improve the workplace. In research methodology, this ergonomics prevention program includes 3 stages. First is on-site observation of the workstations, and next is to use NNQ stand for Nordic Musculoskeletal Questionnaire developed by the Nordic Council of Ministers and NSDS checklists for ergonomic assessment. Finally, provide ergonomic recommendations to prevent and control the potential problems or injuries. The first observed region was the main axle assembly area with the following 3 steps. In assembly part, they will lift overhead on assembled parts. And in calibration parts, they usually in a squat or bend posture. This action may lead to ergo issues. This case company is capable of turnkey solutions, which designs and produce every component. And in their package area, since the shape of object is in a variety, such as the cuboid, barrel, and cylindrical parts, it might induce further ergonomic problems. The thinner and harder yellow strips are used to fix for the cuboid parts, and the strips are tightly bonded to the parts are not easy to pick up. The barrel parts are large and difficult to turn over. The center of gravity of the cylindrical parts is not fixed for rolling over to package. It may cause the hand radial and ulnar deviation. And the third observed region is the Z-axis assembly area. The operator packs 20 pieces per wooden box, which weighs around 20 kilograms, and the average handling loading is 2 boxes per day. Because the volume of the parts is large and need to be vertically pulled upwards from the bottom, most operators suffer low back pain during lifting. And the major characteristics of 3 observed manufacturing areas were mainly standing position and manual material handling. The final results score of NSDS checklist higher than 5 points reveals the high potential ergonomics risk. Therefore, the ergonomics improvement measures were needed to be implemented. And based on NNQ questionnaire, which was carried out in the medical examination by the case company last year, each part of the body was subjectively rated from 0 to 5. It means no risk to high risk in terms of fatigue level as shown in figure 1. Overall, most of the employees did not have any significant discomfort during the workday. The results indicated that most employees could stand the current workload. In conclusion, about this research, all of NNQ results show that the employee's subjective response to workload was not significantly uncomfortable in the 3 observed manufacturing areas. NSDS outcome exists potentially high ergonomics risk, which might lead to ergonomic problems, especially the low back pain associated with higher frequency of the most manual material handling task. Based on the outcome of observation and preliminary assessment, the proposed proposed corresponding comments were as follows. First is engineering redesign. In main Excel assembly area, the desktop adjustable 3-axis fixing device for improving the precision of parts assembly was recommended to involve, and thus reduce the frequency of scratch and bend postures. And in customer service department, for barrel-shaped or column-shaped goods, and they can use a roll which the appearance is like a kitchen napkin standing, was suggest to implement in the packing area to fix the size of the good to reduce the radial and rolling movements caused by the hand grip of the person. And for cylindrical shaped goods, a movable basket type grip could be used to increase the contact area between the hands and the object to make it easier to take. And next is to rely out in this area can reduce the distance and time of transportation. And in Z-axis assembly area, the workload for the horizontal lifting is less than the vertical lifting. As a result, the Z-axis fixed seats was suggested to change and shift by 90 degrees, so that the objects were placed parallel to the bookcase and taken out to reduce the lifting head of the hands. And in training, health promotion seminars will be arranged for employees to establish proper knowledge of health risk. And in health management, to perform special physical or health checkups for health operations or ergonomics risk, and establish health management database for checking. The organizations with more high-risk personnel need to carry out specific ergonomics projects for improvement. And in administration, the company internal ergonomics guidelines need to be developed. And the further research part, the further ergonomics intervention progress check approaches will be facilitated by an internal dedicated ergonomics team, which including related departments such as industrial, engineering, manufacturing, product design, and so on. It will help organizations to ensure the outcome of the ergonomics prevention program. The concerns of the management of the business units range from the overall aspects of the enterprise to the implementation, productivity, corporate image, and coordination of order acquisition and customer needs, production cost reduction and quality improvement. The promotion of works efficiency prevention programs must be closely aligned with these concerns of the management of the business units, and the willingness and effectiveness of prevention programs must be improved from a more proactive and forward-looking perspective. This is our report, and thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon, Professor Yen, and thank you very much for your contribution today. I would like to solicit some insights from the audience, from members of the House, colleagues, and co-researchers for this particular topic. We can actually say that industrial engineering is a very big profession. No? It can be on the manufacturing or in the administrative portion. And from that two distinct areas, there are sub areas. So at this time, it is in the machine, prevention program in the machine, using the machine manufacturing industry. Anyone from the audience? Okay, I suppose I'm going to start. one, I would like just, Professor Yen, I would like to inquire whether the conclusions, which includes training and so on, constitutes also specific costing that may equal the expense on these particular programs in connection with the current problems of sickness to be incurred by the workers. Meaning to say, the cost-benefit analysis of indulging into this particular solution compared to the expenses of the sickness of the workers and other factors.
Could you say again?
I mean, do we have, I suppose in your paper there is the specific reason why did you stated one, training as a measure to possibly eliminate this particular type of illnesses.
Sorry, I really didn't know.
Anyway, there is an inquiry here from Professor Wilson. It says, can you please tell us more about the NMQ and MSD?
Oh, okay.
I suppose this is the Nordic questionnaire and the musculoskeletal diseases.
And NQ is a self-reported standardized questionnaire with a body map including neck, shoulders, upper back, elbows, and so on. Respondents can use this questionnaire to express their level of discomfort and fatigue in various body parts at work. And NSDS checklist is to recognize the ergonomic risk factors, which may induce the development of NSDS, including exerting excessive force, repetitively performing the same or similar tasks and movement, working in awkward posture or being in the same posture without enough rest during a long time. For the severity of these risk actions, and with the duration of the conditions to give a score. So if the final total score is higher than 5, and it means that the risk is high and need to be imposed.
Is it okay, Dr. Wilson? And of course, again, there is another one. Dr. Yen, do you think the demographics, such as the age, number of years in service, affect the way the workers answer the NMQ?
I think the answer is yes, because age and number of years and years of service, it will affect the workers answer the NQs. And actually, in NQS data, respondents need to answer this data for the questionnaire.
Okay, thank you very much. And this is going to be the last one. Is from Professor Alfani Aragua. It says that what an interesting study, Dr. Huang. Health is really our wealth. I just want to ask, what specific manufacturing industry is your study suitable to? So aside from the specific title specifying prevention program in a machine manufacturing industry, is this particular study, according to Professor Aragua, is also suited to other particular types of industry, meaning the computation, the logic and concept. Is it also applicable to other types of manufacturing industry? Sir? Well, Professor Aragua, I suppose there are some particular type of manufacturing industry that can also be applied for this particular. I mean, there is a good relation to this type of research, but not all. So meaning to say, since from the slides presented, there is a discrepancy between the normal and the abnormal type of hand. So meaning to say that it is not totally machine-generated machine-oriented manufacturing industry. So there are several particular industries that may be related to this research, but not all. Anybody else would like to comment, if I'm not mistaken, on that particular issue? Well, I suppose that everything is fine now. Thank you very much, Dr. Yen-Chun Huang, and congratulations for this particular interesting research that you have presented and provided to us this afternoon. See you around. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, since we are through with the ergonomics track, we will be pushing on to the operations research. However, before we conclude this particular ergonomics track, I suppose that one particular presenter wasn't able to come today, perhaps due to some unavoidable circumstances. And that will be presented by, supposedly to be presented by Professor Indacunya Mahasi Liani, and the title is The Implementation of Single Minute Exchange of Dice at PT Ganding Tolsindo. Anyway, we are unhappy that she did not presented. I suppose one of the one good research also. So much more, we are going to push through with the track and operations research, and later on the product innovation. I would like to present at this time my co-host, Dr. Zakaria John. Good afternoon. Are you in the house?
Good afternoon, Professor.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the international conference. I suppose at this point from this point, you're going to handle this floor.
Yeah,
good afternoon again.
Yes,
Thank
good
you.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, thank you, Professor Engineer Cuento. So, anyways, good afternoon, everyone. Let's proceed with the track of the operations research. But before we proceed with the first presenter, I would like to remind everyone that each presenter are only allowed for the 10 minutes, and then we only have 5 minutes for the question and answers. So yeah, let's start with the track of operations and research. So now we have the code number of the presentation, ISM 222141, with the presenter Christina Wirawan. The title is the title of the research, Restaurant Quality Improvement, an Indonesian Restaurant Fact. Ma'am Christina Wirawan, you can now proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Belmonte, for the opening. Good afternoon, honorable audience. Thank you for spending your valuable time to listening my presentation. Kindly let me share my slides. Okay, this is going to be, I would like to present our article titled Service Quality Improvement Effort, an Indonesian Restaurant Empirical Fact, by me and my colleague Gabriel Emmanuel. We begin with the introduction. The success of a business can be caused by several things, namely the company can win the competition, so it still has loyal customers. Another thing that causes the success of business is the right marketing strategy. Thus, customers are interested in buying in this business. The next is because companies can keep up with changing customer needs and desires. Thus, the business can always be in line with the needs and desires of the customers. The last things may lead to the success of a business is because the business provides products and services of good quality. Thus, customers will be satisfied and become loyal to the business. In this article, the discussion will be focused on the fourth cause, namely good product and service quality. The case discussed in this article is Resto XYZ, which is a restaurant located in city of Jakarta, Indonesia. The consumer of this restaurant are mainly students from the university that are located near the restaurant, plus the surrounding community because the restaurant is located in residential area. This restaurant serves economical Japanese food. This restaurant serves food by means of dine-in, takeaway, and delivery. Resto XYZ has experienced a decline in income since the end of 2019, even though at that time it's not yet a pandemic. When the pandemic started, indeed, income fell drastically because sometimes it was forbidden to open restaurants and students did not have activity on campus, but then gradually increased again, before then backdrop again. This decrease will be investigated, namely the condition in the new normal area. From the result of preliminary research, it is known that there are many complaints from customers in various ways, such as reduced food portion, long service, and worrying about eating or buying at restaurants because they feel they are not maintaining health protocols related to COVID-19 transmission. Therefore, the problem of service quality is discussed because it is suspected that the biggest cause of the decline in restaurant income is the problem of service quality. This article tries to give suggestions to Resto XYZ to improve their service quality. The model used to measure service quality or customer satisfaction and find the cause of dissatisfaction is Search-Wall model compiled by Setamo, Parasuraman, and Berry. Although it has been a long time, this model is still widely used by researchers, and many studies related to this model, review, and development also taking place. In this article, development is carried out in terms of measuring gaps. The Search-Wall shows that the measure of service quality or customer satisfaction is the comparison between perception and expectation. The difference, which is usually we call it as fifth gap, and most likely fifth gap caused by other gaps, namely first gap to fourth gap. Next, we go to the research methodology. The research begins with problem identification through preliminary research, namely direct observation and interviews with restaurant owners, employees, and customers. And it was found that the service quality was not good, marked by customer complaints. For this reason, the ServQual model is considered suitable to be used. For, therefore, the fifth dimension of ServQual, namely reliability, responsiveness, tangible empathy, and assurance are used as the basis to determine the research variable. The next step is to measure fifth gap by using a questionnaire filled out by customers about perception and expectation related to its variables. Then the next step is measuring gap, first gap to fourth gap. And next we do analysis, suggestion, and conclusion. From the result of the study, it was found that that of the 29 variables studied and measured, there are 5 variables that are declared dissatisfied by customer. And a cause was also found between gap 1 to gap 4. The variables are shown in this table. Most of the cause of the dissatisfaction is gap 4, first gap. Yeah, first gap, namely the gap between customer expectation and management perception of customer satisfaction, of customer expectation. This indicates that management is lacking in building relationship and finding out what customer expectations are like. The analysis and suggestion for the first dissatisfaction, there is the suitable of food portion with photos on the menu. The portion received by customer is less than what is in the photo. This is the perception of the customers. Management thinks that customer will not compare, so that they only think about the aesthetic of the photo. They do not considering the portion and the photo. They don't think about that. So Resto XYZ need to improve the photo of the menu by adjusting the portion of the food photograph with the actual portion. The second variables is speed of employees in serving customer. Service takes too long. This is what customers said. Management thought the time needed for service was fast enough because actually there are not too many customers came to the restaurant, but management does not consider that they also receive delivery services order from the online platform such as Gojek or Grab, so that the employees must do their work for the dine-in customer and also for takeaway and delivery. The suggestion is make customers to participate. We can make customers to take by themselves what they need in the restaurant. They can rearrange the task. They can place the table with the accessories of the food. Maybe that is chili sauce or pickles or something. Then the second is to rearrange the task of the worker and set task priority. Then speed up the manufacture of food and beverage using the simple measuring tools, yeah, such as a jiggering cup or a spoon or something. Then the third variables is the ability in providing a sense of security to customer. This is not done optimal in providing a sense of security. Security here is security in about criminal and security about pandemic transmission of COVID-19. Then employees sometimes do not wear masks. Employees do not spray disinfectant on tables or chairs after used by the customer. Then we suggest to place CCTV. Yeah, the CCTV maybe can make customer feel more safe, feel more comfortable. Then prepare hand washing equipment and hand sanitizer near the door. Scan the body temperature or temperature of customer also, and do health procedure. The next variable is attractiveness of interior of the building. The interior is not attractive because it's only hanging photos of the menu. Management does not think that the attractiveness of interior of the building is important because they serve economical food, but in fact, customer consider it. So we suggest to make decoration not only foods menu, maybe some other pictures. Then choose attractive walls, color, and pattern. Then add also decorative lights, maybe curtain or Japanese ornaments or pictures. The last variables is the adequacy of parking space. Not enough parking space provided, but management does not think customer need parking space because actually their main customer is students, which is come by on foot. But actually some of the customer want it. Then but the resto is in shop house. Then because it is in a shop house, then they don't have enough parking lot. So we suggest to rent a parking lot from another shop house if it is possible. Then provide the faster delivery. So some of the customer do not have to dine in, but they can choose faster delivery, mainly for the surrounding community. The conclusion is Sherko is still relevant to be used to measure service quality and customer satisfaction. The most common cause found is first gap. Then management need to conduct survey and build relationship with customer. For further research, maybe we can analyze the variables that are stated to be dissatisfied by customers, but the cause has not been detected from first to fourth gap. Analyze the variables that are stated to be satisfied, but there is still a gap in first to fourth gap. Then using various other tools related to Sherko, such as GFD, TRIS, Kano, and others. Thank you very much. That is my presentation.
Thank you, Professor Wirawan. So, do you have any question from anyone in the house? So, being none, so I have a Professor, I have a suggestion and also a question. How many, you have 29 variables. How many respondents? How many respondents you have, Professor Wirawan?
Okay.
Wirawan?
For customers, we take about 150 respondents. For management is 1%, because only 1% in management level. And for the employee is 4 people.
4.
4,
have,
yes.
okay, you have 155.
That's all. That's all of the restaurant.
Okay, so you use person correlation values. So I'm just wondering, did you identify the Cronbach alphas of the questionnaires?
Of course, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe this is my suggestion, you can put that on your paper.
Okay.
So the value of the Cronbach alphas.
Okay. In my paper, I've already put it, but
yes.
the presentation
That's
I forgot.
That's not on. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now I'm clear. So the Cronbach alphas is based on your literature. It satisfied the standard.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Good. So you
Okay.
have 155. Regarding with the further research, this is my suggestion. You can use the same questionnaire, but use the Kano model, so that you can identify the dissatisfaction and satisfaction of your respondent. So it's a Kano model, KANO. That's a very good model suited with your good research.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's a very good. Yeah. No worries, Professor Wirawan. So no. So another suggestion from my co-chairman, I would like to suggest to include support data for the suggestive solution provided here to give the clear improvement. Nice topic. So from Professor Cuenco. All right. So now we can proceed with our next presenter.
Thank you.
Yes. So we have for the next presenter. In my list, the title of the next paper is the binary integer linear programming approach for the risk minimization of a multi-mode research constraint project scheduling problem with the discrete time cost quality risk trade off. The paper number of ISM 221040. Sir Ricardo Cabrera, Alindayu. So you can now proceed, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Professor Belmonte, for that introduction. Also share my screen. Okay, so thank you very much for that introduction. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ricardo Alindayu. I am currently a graduate student at De La Salle University in Manila, Philippines, and I will be presenting on behalf of my co-authors, Mr. Ronaldo Polancos and Dr. Rosemary Serra. So our research is entitled A Binary Integer Linear Programming Approach for Risk Minimization of a Multi-Mode Resource-Constrained Project Scheduling Problem with Discrete Time Cost Quality Risk Trade-off. So to provide a background on the project scheduling problem, it is the main goal of the project manager to produce a suitable schedule that achieves the project's intended output, whether it would be like a bridge for the construction industry or a product for the manufacturing industry. So in order to create a feasible schedule, the project manager is constrained by the order of project activities that lead to the required output afterwards, and the available resources to execute the said project activities. So this is the project scheduling problem, which may be stated as, how can a project manager optimally allocate available resources to project activities in order to achieve the objectives of the project at the least possible duration? So the resource-constrained project scheduling problem, or RCPSP, provides a framework for allocating resources to project activities that minimize overall project duration. So in the figure, it can be seen that each resource is allocated to each activity in the project network. So the RCPSP enables the user to create a schedule that follows the precedence constraints of the project activities and make sure that assigned resources are available, meaning that they are not already assigned to other activities or are in the middle of performing another activity. However, the RCPSP presents a simplistic view of project scheduling that may not be applicable for most real-life situations. And this is because it has two simplistic assumptions that need to be addressed. The first is on the one-dimensionality of resources, where any resource may be assigned to any activity. This cannot be assumed because certain activities require technical knowledge with the necessary skill set to accomplish the said activity. And the second would be the lack of consideration of other objectives other than time, such as cost, quality, and risk. So to answer this problem, variants of the RCPSP have been created to amend those two main assumptions, making the model more realistic. So for the first assumption on the one-dimensionality of resources, the multi-mode RCPSP or MRCPSP was crafted to recognize that there are many available execution modes for each activity. So in the figure, it can be seen that the available human resources R1, R2, R3, and R4 are assignable to activity A1. And each resource can accomplish the activity at different times, as seen on the schedule on the far right. Another variant of the RCPSP is what we call the discrete time cost trade-off, or Dtctp, which recognizes that there are two conflicting objectives that need to be optimized by the project manager when setting up a schedule. So this variant responds to the second assumption of the RCPSP, which now considers objectives other than time. So it is the goal of the project manager to decrease both time and cost. However, decreasing time increases costs and vice versa. As such, this problem would provide a set of schedules which would provide preference to either optimizing time or cost or striking a balance between the two. This also has been extended to include other objectives. The first extension includes quality, where quality is defined as the % adherence to the requirements of each activity and subsequently the entire project as a whole. For this problem, quality increases when both time and cost increase, which also presents another trade-off between the three parameters. The same trend is also seen in the second extension of the Dtctp. This one includes risk, which is defined as the probability that the activity will not be accomplished. So a similar trend is observed where increasing time and cost decrease the risk of the project, which also conflicts with the ideal scenario of the project manager. So as a result, the research problem here is that the existing models in project scheduling that consider both the multi-mode resource-constrained project scheduling problem and the Dtctp, they all lack the simultaneous consideration of the devil's quadrangle, which is the trade-off parameters of time, cost, quality, and risk in the trade-off optimization at the resource level. So the main objective of this study is to integrate both problems at the resource level into a single project scheduling model, specifically to identify the relationship between time, cost, quality, and risk from the literature review. Second is to formulate the novel model as a binary linear programming model. And third is to illustrate the model with a case study from prior literature. So for the first objective, the following graphs were generated by Pollack, Johnson, and Liberatore to describe the relationship between time and cost. So on the left graph, we have, it would show that for a constant quality, project cost would increase as the project duration decreases. On the other hand, the right graph would show that for a higher quality, the cost would increase given the same amount of time. Adding risk to the previous graph would provide the following relationship shown on the slide, where constant risk is represented by the dashed lines. So decreasing project duration increases the risk of the project and decreases quality if costs are kept constant. So the relationship of these four parameters may be derived from the graph when tracing lines from an original state to a new state to see the effect on time, cost, quality, and risk. So the following binary linear programming model was derived to illustrate the trade-off relationship between time, cost, quality, and risk when generating project schedules. So the objective function here would be risk minimization, while the constraints of the ILP are the upper and lower bounds for time, cost, and quality, and logical constraints such as precedence and resource constraints. So a case study was used from Pollack, Johnson, and Liberatore to allow for comparison of results. A total of 12 activities with 3 resources available for use of the project was used for this case study. And each resource was assigned a time, a cost, a quality value, and a risk value for each activity that it would implement. The computational experiments were conducted on Python using Python MIP package, and a set of non-dominated solutions was generated from the linear programming model and sorted by objective. So either sorted by shortest duration, the lowest cost, the highest quality, the lowest risk, and a balance between the four trade-offs. So the results from the table are illustrated through these schedules, where the x-axis would refer to the number of days allotted to the project, and the y-axis referring to the resources available to execute the activities. So for the shortest duration, it can finish the project within 22 days, but at a high cost of around 246,000 US dollars, while the lowest cost would be at 181 US dollars, but it would take a longer time at around 33 to 36 days. Solutions with the highest quality are at 73.33%, but they also come with the high risk at 20.83%. And finally, solutions with the lowest risk are at 17.50%. Solutions are also available that seek to balance the four trade-offs, with the ultimate goal of the decision maker, which is the project manager, to choose among the schedules that would result to his or her preference or situation. So these solutions may also be plotted on a time-cost graph to visualize their relationship with each other. So it's quite similar to the previous slide showing the relationship between time, cost, quality, and risk, where schedules with the lowest duration will be found on the upper left portion, and schedules with the lowest cost will be shown on the lower right corner. So in conclusion, the relationship between TCQR was derived from prior literature and visualized on a 2D graph. The model used to generate this relationship provided practical schedules because of the inclusion of resource constraints. And in the future, larger test cases may be used to assess the robustness of the model, as well as the use of meta-heuristic algorithms to keep computational time at a manageable level. Thank you very much, and I am ready for your questions.
Thank you, Sir Alindayu. It's a very good research. However, there's a question here from my co-chairman. So he said, undeniable. So the non-linear programming is based on linear programming. In your opinion, Sir Alindayu, do we still need to focus problem solving using LP or the NLP? Thank you for your opinionated response.
Well, I'm sure there are many ways to approach a problem, and of course, LP is one of them. For this particular research, we wanted to see if there was like a simple computational way to derive schedules, because there are a lot of options when it comes to schedule generation.
Yeah.
So this is just a test, because we are using 4 objectives here. So we just wanted to see computation-wise if we can use a simpler method.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So you use what software you use?
For this one, we used Python. So there's a package in Python called MIP, or the Mixed Integer Programming package.
Okay. So your data is very good and very clear. So I have no further question. Maybe we can proceed with the next presenter. Congratulations, Sir Alindayu, for a very good presentation. At the same time, very good and well constructed data using linear programming. So now we can proceed with our next presenter. In my list, it is with the paper ID 5026. With the title of Building a Smart Factory Prototype, a Case Study of Company X. And then the presenter or the researcher is Mr. Yu-Chieh Chuang. Sir Chuang, are you here?
Yes, afternoon.
All right. All right. Good afternoon. You can now proceed, sir.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yu-Chieh Chuang. My professor is Yen-Chun Huang. I currently study in Industrial and Systems Engineering at Zhongyuan Christian University. Today, I will show my research about smart factory prototype.
Excuse me, sir. Sir Chuang, we don't see any presentation in our screen. Maybe you can share your screen.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. Oh, no worries, no worries. Thank you. And also, I want to remind again everyone that each presenter only allowed to have 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Now, we already see your presentation.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Yu-Chieh Chuang. My professor is Yen-Chun Huang. And I'm currently studying Industrial and Systems Engineering at Zhongyuan Christian University. Today, I will show my research about smart factory prototype. The research topic is building a smart factory prototype, a case study of Company X. And this page is my report outline. Problem distribution, research procedure, Company X case, smart factory framework, research framework, methodology, conclusion. And problem distribution is how to build a smart factory. The plan of the future, also known as smart factory, refers to different concepts from the document to the connectivity of industrial equipment. Bio reporting or dashboard continue analysis and improvement of industrial data. At present, many companies want to transfer into smart factory, but most of them do not know how to do it. Therefore, my study want to build a smart factory prototype, takes Company X as an example. This is my research procedure. First, I review literature about smart factory and understand about smart factory framework. Second, define the smart factory framework of this study, and then propose the prototype of a smart factory in this study. Next, construct the prototype of this research smart factory. Next step, verify feasibility of a proposed smart factory framework, and then analyze the results. Finally, conclude and provide future research directions. And this page, I introduce about X company. X company has 3 factories, and the X company has orders that need to be produced in each factory. And then X company production scheduling is done manually. Finally, each factory has many machines. And we can view the smart factory framework picture. The smart factory framework in the literature is divided in 4 layers. The first layer is physical resource layer, and second is network layer. Third is cloud application layer, and final layer is terminal layer. The red words represent smart factory features, and the black words represent the smart factory system or personnel or technologies. The research framework inside the red frame. The colors in the research framework correspond to the layers of the smart factory framework. The simulation factory and IoT part correspond to physical resource layer and network layer. The database and smart production scheduling correspond to cloud application layer. The war room correspond to terminal layer. This study takes smart production scheduling as core and connects the research framework. After this first, I'm going to explain the database part and the smart production scheduling part. Then I'm going to explain the simulation factory. Finally, I'm going to explain the war room. After introducing the research framework, then we see the part of database. The database part marked in blue has 2 functions. They are extracting and storing data.
This study used MySQL software to construct the database. Then we can see the part of ER diagram is drawing in the cross methods. This part of the diagram is the one that related with smart production scheduling. For example, if we want to model smart production scheduling, we need to order production machine data and so on. Then we see the smart production scheduling part. We can see that the parts marked in blue are related to smart production scheduling. If we want to build a smart production scheduling, first we need to understand domain knowledge. The schedule machines can, for example, the schedule machines cannot set the upper limit of the factory machine every day. And secondly, we have to know about the production scheduling logical. For example, after placing the order, the schedule machine's capacity in this factory cannot set the limiter on the machine capacity of the factory. Finally, we transfer it into mathematical model. And this page explains in detail about the smart production scheduling. Let me give you a brief introduction. First step is define the decision variables. And next step, define an objective function. And third, define constraints. And then construct mathematical production scheduling model. And next step, use Groovy software to solve the mathematical model. And find the optimized scheduling. And finally, graduate output model file and output solution file. The smart production scheduling part was using Groovy software. This page shows the interface and soft type. Next, I talk about the simulation factory. My study used simulation factory as virtual factory. We can see that green part in the research framework is the revamped part of the simulation factory. This study used simulation factory to model the IoT in manufacturing. The simulation factory model has orders come in and then simulates plans process. The output of simulation is to provide data about order or machine or factory information. This is my simulation factory model. This model first and second part is reading smart production scheduling output continue file end. And third part decide the order should go to which factory. And fourth part production order. And then finish simulation will have data about order machine or factory information. Their information are stored into the database, so that can be used by war room in the future. And next, I talk about the war room. War room needs some information. This information are the reports generated by the systems using the data from the database or cloud. This table shows the machine utilization data report, and this pie chart shows plan run rate, one of the visualization system dashboard. Production report and visualization system dashboard from database. And manager can quickly evaluate the production indicators of the day. This picture shows some other of the visualization dashboard and generated for the war room. The first picture shows the bar chart about the number of machines, huge status from each plant. And the second picture shows the line chart about number of finished orders at each plant. And finally, picture shows the pie chart about distribution of orders for each plant. The system can generate various kind of visualization dashboard for volume according to their needs. This page shows some of a few kinds of dashboard generated from the system for the volume, so that managers can clearly understand the status of the factory. Finally, there are my conclusions. First, this study has used Arena software to model the IoT and simulation factory to apply the physical resource layer and network layer in smart factory framework. Second, database using MySQL software was used to support the cloud application layer. Third, Groovy software and MC programming language was used to generate the smart production scheduling in the cloud application layer. And then Joget software was used for generating information from volume in the terminal layer. And last one, this study has successfully connected all of the 4 layers of smart factory framework. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, Sir Chuang. Anyone from the room have a question regarding with the research with the title of the designing of the smart there you go. If you have any question from the anyone from the room or suggestion for the case study for the smart factory prototype. So none. So sir, I would like to ask Sir Chuang regarding with the you use a lot of the simulator softwares, and then can you go back with the presentation number 16? I believe it's number 16.
So sorry, can you
on your slide number 16?
Number 16. Okay, okay.
Can you share your slide, please? Thank you.
Okay. 16. Okay.
And there you go. Regarding with this methodology in the war room, specifically with this data, did you where you get this data? Where you come up? How you come up with this data?
S company.
Okay. So that X company, and then is the data is efficient enough so that the simulator software you use is a can be I mean, is the data you get from the company X is enough for the simulation? Okay,
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Company data storing database and extracting to smart production scheduling and finish go to simulation factory and finish simulation and go to database.
Okay.
Extracting data from database, volume extracting data from database.
All
Yes.
right. So that's why you have the sufficient data. Okay, that makes sense, because when I saw your chart or the data, it's like a lot of it's so good, no? It's very good. So another question is that from my co-chairman, Cuenco. Okay, Professor Cuenco, is this prototype can also be used for the multi-product line manufacturing company?
I think another company, because maybe different large and different data, so needs for this company build a system. So need for this company build a prototype.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, another one from a Sir Liputra. Mr. Chuang, may we know what was the biggest obstacle, okay, you encountered in conducting your research?
I think because this prototype have more detailed parts, so I need focus every part, maybe data file and connecting the 4 parts. I think this is needs spend more time. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So do you have any questions? So I'm hearing none. So and then also with our chat box. Thank you so much, Mr. Sir Chuang, for sharing that very good presentation and then research. Maybe we can proceed now with our next presenter. So we have here from the Trach Enterprise from Research Planning. Or Technology and Innovation Management, because in my list is not maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now we have the next presenter with the paper title of the 5042, Sherko H. Murad, with the title of Brain Tumor Segmentation Based on MRI Image and Article Review. You can proceed now, Sir Murad, Professor Murad, Dr. Murad. Is Professor Dr. Murad is here in the room with us today? So I don't see him or her.
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, you're here.
Okay. Yes, I'm here. But I want to upload my PowerPoint presentation. I don't know. I can just one moment.
Okay, sure, Sir Murad. No problem.
Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Yes.
So you can you please can you please make it full screen for us, sir?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Sherko H. I am from Kurdistan Technical Institute in Iraq. It is my pleasure to participate in your conference. So for me, it's the first time. My research paper about brain tumor segmentation based on MRI image article review. Yeah. Outline my presentation. The first point is introduction, and the second point is segmentation method. Third point, funding discussion and conclusion, and at last point is reference. Brain tumor segmentation has a vital role. Recovery is faster if patients detect the tumor in early stage in order to receive an effective treatment. So detection of the tumors is significantly requested. Earlier detection improves a patient's chance of survival. Physicians typically use physical method of segmentation to diagnose brain tumor. Currently, with the technology appearance to achieve automatic computer-based brain tumor picture analysis, it is essential. The magnetic resonance imaging (MRI) has made significant progress in detecting brain generally and a defined brain anatomy. This variety of image processing application had led to the development of various segmentation methods of different accuracy and degree of complexity. In the second main slide, show segmentation technique in MRI brain image analysis. It consists of 3 parts. The first part is intensity-based segmentation, atlas-based segmentation, artificial intelligence. We use in our paper machine learning. We have a different type of machine learning. The first one, supervised machine learning. Second type is unsupervised machine learning. We considered in our paper on unsupervised learning algorithms. The unsupervised method consists of 7 different algorithms: hard clustering, k-mean clustering, fuzzy C-mean clustering, region growing, threshold method, global threshold, and neural network. The result of survey on brain tumor segmentation for MRI that has been evaluated are explained in the section. We create a table to explain a comprehensive evaluation of state-of-the-art tumor segmentation approach, and we create some visualization based on our literature study static to 8 components in figure to show the research strategy. We discovered a few publications, IEEE, Science Direct, Scopus, and Springer. We conducted automatic search in the following phase. Can see the clear based on the years since 2017 until from 2017 to 2021. The search string provided in table was illustrated or show as table 5 represent a general view of outcome taken from the research. Okay, here is the pie chart, present overview of our result obtained from our search. The first biggest algorithms or the first occurrences algorithms, what after we research find here conventional neural network is more accurate than other algorithms. Okay, conclusion. In recent years, many work have been done on brain tumor MRI picture segmentation and prediction using machine learning. Still, additionally, studying into MRI is a difficult task. Medical specialists benefit greatly from the classification and segmentation because they provide a second view based on automated result. At the same time, the domain suffers because of robustness issue in the term of accuracy. In the review 26 article from 2017-2020, we used where the measure of segmentation accuracy for brain tumors. Those results are used conventional neural network testing by finding accuracy 99.45%. While the other researchers used fuzzy clustering and DSVM with the accuracy 99.5 and 99.75%. The study contribution is funded the most recommended method with the higher sensitivity of segmentation brain tumors. Okay, last slide. Yes, we used many references, but I typed only 8 references here. Okay, thank you very much for your listening. If you have any question, I can answer you.
Okay, thank you. That's Sir Murad. That's a very, how I can say this, timely research, because you know the appreciation of the health industry right now is boosted. So, do you have any question from the room? Okay, being none, but I'm very curious, sir, why you only come up with the 4 scientific journals, the Scopus, the IE Explore, the Springer. Why you only choose to your methodology only for research journal?
We started we looking for the research. We consider it as the 4 parts of the section is here. IEEE Science Direct, Scopus, and Springer's publication. We look on which person or which algorithm most useful, or all the people use it, this algorithms. I think for the Scopus Springer's most show really a result for our paper, because many people publishing this good paper in the IEEE or Science Direct or Scopus or Springer.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Sir Murad. Thank you.
Yeah. So, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now we can proceed with our next presenter. If there's any in my list, that's the last. Do we have any presenter yet?
That is the last. Prof.
Yes.
That is
Sorry.
our Mr. Dr. Murad is our last presenter.
Okay. All right, Dr. Murad. So I would like to thank everybody for that very good topic and presentation. So just want to. All right. Okay. So, Surya, do you have any like announcement? Or maybe we can request everyone to open their camera for our photo ops.
Yes, Professor. But before that,
Okay.
there's something. There's some few announcement before we proceed into the documentation section. First is this awarding of certificate to our presenters. But before that, thank you very much to both our session chair, Professor Mira and Professor Belmonte, for great sharing the session. I do hope that all the inputs that you given to our presenters is really useful. So right now, to congratulate our great audience, our great presenters, I will show the certificate and professors can read out their name.
Sure. Can I read it so that I. The certificate of presentation. The certificate is awarded to Chengyi Lo of the Yuan University, Christian University, for the manuscript entitled Rula and Reveries Assessment System, a case study on Filipino workers, presented at the International Conference in Industrial System Engineering Technology, Innovation and Management, virtual conference on the 23rd April of 22, signed by the conference chair. Next, so we have the certificate of presentation awarded to Winda Halim from the University of Kristen, Maranatha, with the title of The Coffee Shop Redesign of the Low Vision Barista and Visitor Case Study of the Cafe X Bandung. Next, we have the certificate of presentation awarded to Raden, Roro, Christina from Universitas Kristen Maranatha, with the title of Student Perception of Mental Load in Collaboration Workshop in Pandemic COVID-19 Era, a case study, a interior design in industrial engineering. Now we have the certificate of presentation. Certificate is awarded to Yen-Chun Huang from the Chung Yuan Christian University with the research title A Case Study of Ergonomic Prevention Program in a Machine Manufacturing Industry. And then we have this certificate of presentation awarded to Christina Wirawan from School of Business Management, Bandung Institute of Technology, for the manuscript entitled Restaurant Quality Improvement, an Indonesian Restaurant Fact. Now we have certificate of presentation. This certificate is awarded to Ricardo Cabrera Alindayu from the Salle University, Manila, Philippines, for the manuscript entitled A Binary Integer Linear Programming Approach for Risk Minimization of a Multi-Mode Resource Constraint Project, a Scheduling Project Problem with Discrete Time Cost Quality Risk Trade-off. Next, we have the certificate of presentation is awarded to Yu-Chieh Chuang from Chung Yuan Christian University for the manuscript entitled Building a Smart Factory Prototype, a Case Study of a Company X. Congratulations, Sir Chuang. Next, we have the certificate of presentation This certificate is awarded to Sherko H. Murad from a Yuan International University for the manuscript entitled Brain Tumor Segmentation Based on MRI Image and Article Review. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations. Maybe we can give them a round of applause or a heart reaction for each of us. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for everything. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much once again to our session chair, Professor Belmonte and Engineer Mira, for such wonderful participations, for such many inputs to our presenters today. Next, to our presenters who are already presenting their papers, congratulations. All of you already done a very good job in presenting your presentations. And finally, thank you to all the audiences who actively participated, involving in giving the questions, giving comments, feedback, and even suggestions. Your all active participations in this scientific forum is highly appreciated. Right now, I would like I'm humbly invite everyone to activate the Zoom camera so we can have a photo session together in order to cherish this moment together. Okay. Okay, smile on the count of 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, once again, another window. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for your participations. Next, I would like to address some information regarding our post-conference information. Okay, so this is the publication timeline that all the presenters need to pay attention. Pay attention to the timeline and process that the author must do in order to complete their post-conference process and get their international journal recommendations. So this is the important dates on when paper proceeding published, extended full paper deadline, so on and so forth. And also, the author who want to proceed the publication process must upload their final full paper after revision, perhaps including today's feedback during the presentations, under this menu here, where you can download LOA, upload consent letter, and submit your final article under the upload menu. This is the Scholar Fan dashboard. Also, bear in mind that the main output of ICISETIM is the conference paper proceeding will be available at this link for Big Data Industrial Design category, and at this link, as well as for the other category on the link that you can see on the screen. After the conference finishes, the DOI will be active soon, and after that, it will be automatically indexed in Google Scholar. Then later on will be submitted to the OAG onward. So please kindly check at the conference website and RSF Press website to get the updated access. In addition, author requires to revise approximately 80% of submitted conference paper to avoid self-plagiarism. Because the full paper or the extended one will undergo the second round of scientific review process to determine your journal recommendations for publications. All accepted papers have opportunity to be published in reputable international journal indexed by Scopus, the OAG, Copernicus, Google Scholars, Dimension, with of course applied terms and conditions. And at this moment, I would like to invite, I think, Dr. Murad still with us here. Okay, Dr. Murad.
Yes, please, I am here.
Oh yeah, can I, in these sharing sessions, I would like you to give testimonials regarding our events today. How do you think these events go?
Sorry, I am not understanding very well.
Okay,
sorry.
I said that, will you give your testimonials regarding our conference session today?
Yes,
Please.
yes. You need my feedback for your conference. Yes, yeah, I am very happy working with you. Really was very good conference, but we have a problem with my co-author because we are living in Iraq. We have 6 or 7 hours difference between Philippines and Taiwan, between Iraq and Taiwan. Last night we waiting for a long time for your invite for your conference. It take many time on the because we are a little bit not we don't come in the on the time in the conference, but I am very happy if you in future. I am very happy working with you and participation in your seminar because it was really very good organized your conference. Thank you very much for everything.
Okay, thank you for such a wonderful feedback from Dr. Murad. We're happy to have you here, and I hope that we can see you in the next discussions and next international conference.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so yeah, the purpose of these sharing sessions is in hope to encourage other future participants in so they can join more international conference and have a fruitful discussions like this. Now, after this, I invite everyone, all of the audience, to go to the main room because we will have the awarding ceremony for best presentation and session chair session, and closing speech by Ms. Christina STMT, head of the Bachelor program in Industrial Engineering, Universitas Kristen Maranatha, Indonesia. And after that, we will have a closing ceremony. Once again, please kindly check your schedule at the conference program that committee sent you before. At last, to close these sessions, on behalf of the International Conference on Industrial and System Engineering Technology Innovation and Management ICISETIM, hosted by Maranatha Christian University and Research Synergy Foundations, co-organized by the Salle University, Petra Christian University, and Chung Christian University, also supported by Scholar Vein, Research Synergy Institute, Reviewer Trach, RSF Press, and F1000 Research, and Taylor and Francis Group. I would like to thank you for your kind attention. Apologize for many mistakes, and see you again at the main room, in the same room of this link Zoom. Thank you very much. See you later, everyone.
Thank you, Sario. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Rio.